Long ago, before the world was tamed by roads and cities, there was a vast, untamed jungle known as Gotu Forest. It was a place of towering trees, hidden rivers, and creatures unseen by mortal eyes. Deep within this emerald maze lived a man who was more than a man, Dan, the jungle wizard. Dan was not always a wizard. Once, he was a simple scholar, a seeker of rare herbs and forgotten knowledge. He had heard whispers of Gotu Forest, of its plants that could cure any illness and its secrets hidden from the outside world. So, with nothing but his books and a walking staff, he ventured into the jungle. The forest was alive in ways he had never imagined. The vines moved as if they had a will of their own, the rivers sang songs in languages unknown, and the air was thick with a magic older than time. Dan, in his arrogance, thought he could take what he wanted and leave. But the forest had other plans. One evening, as Dan harvested a glowing blue flower said to grant eternal youth, the jungle roared to life. Roots shot up from the ground, wrapping around his ankles, and the trees groaned as if speaking. A voice, deep and ancient, filled the air. You take without asking. You seek without understanding. If you wish to survive, you must prove yourself worthy. Dan pleaded for his life. The voice, which belonged to the spirit of the forest, agreed to spare him, but only if he could pass 3 trials. The first trial, he was sent into the heart of the jungle, where a great panther, black as night, awaited him. Instead of fighting, Dan listened to the whispers of the wind and spoke to the panther in its own tongue. The beast bowed and let him pass. The second trial, he was led to a river with no bridge and no bottom. The spirit commanded him to cross. Dan observed the water, realizing that it moved in patterns, flowing where the trees leaned. He stepped only where the leaves touched the surface, and the river bore him across safely. The final trial, he was brought to a cliff where the sky met the treetops. The spirit told him to reach the heavens. Dan closed his eyes, felt the energy of the jungle within him, and let go of his fear. The wind lifted him, and he floated like the leaves in the storm. Having passed the trials, the spirit of Gotu Forest granted Dan its knowledge. The trees taught him spells, the rivers revealed their hidden paths, and the animals became his allies. He was no longer just a scholar, he was the jungle wizard. For centuries, Dan watched over the forest, protecting it from those who sought to harm or exploit it. Travelers who entered with respect found wisdom and aid. But those who came with greed never returned. Even now, some say that if you enter Gotu Forest and listen carefully, you can hear the wind whispering his name. And if you are truly lost, Dan may appear, not as a man, but as a shadow among the trees, guiding you home or deeper into the unknown.